Have you ever felt like life was testing you harder than you could bear, when no advice, no quote, no empty reassurance could hold you together? In those moments, what you need isn't blind optimism, it's inner strength, the kind that doesn't waver when things fall apart. For centuries, Stoicism has been a guide for those who choose clarity over chaos, composure over panic, and action over complaint. In this video, we'll explore timeless principles, not lofty theories, but grounded tools you can begin using today. Tools to help you stay steady, no matter what life throws your way. If you're ready to see challenge through a new lens, stay with me. This might shift the way you walk through the world. Number 1. Everything is neutral until you decide otherwise. Imagine a child crying over a dropped ice cream cone. To them, it feels like the end of the world. But to an adult, it's just a minor mishap, something easily fixed or forgotten. The ice cream fell the same way, yet the reactions couldn't be more different. Why? Because the adult sees the bigger picture. They've learned something the child hasn't. Events are not inherently good or bad. It's our perception that shapes their meaning. That's the Stoic starting point. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and one of the greatest Stoic minds, believed that external events carry no value on their own. Rain isn't bad. Losing a job isn't tragic. Even betrayal doesn't hold meaning until we decide what it means to us. It is not the event that disturbs us, but our interpretation of it. Let's bring this closer to home. When someone insults you, what are they really doing? They're just making sounds, forming words, expressing their own thoughts. But if you internalize their words, if you let them define your mood, your self-worth, your peace, then the harm doesn't come from their voice. It comes from your choice to accept that narrative. And here's the catch. That choice, that split second where you assign meaning, is where your power lies. The Stoics teach us not to suppress emotions, but to understand them. To pause before we react. To question our assumptions. When your boss criticizes your work, you can see it as a personal attack, or as an opportunity to grow. When someone interrupts you mid-sentence, you can choose offense, or realize they may just be eager to engage. You always have two paths, reaction or reflection. This doesn't mean you become indifferent to life's hardest moments. When grief knocks on your door, or life hits you with illness, loss, or upheaval, you're not expected to be emotionless. A Stoic doesn't ignore pain. They simply refuse to be broken by it. When someone you love dies, you mourn, but you also give thanks for the time you had. When a dream shatters, you feel the sting, but you search for the lesson hidden inside the ashes. The truth is, your strength doesn't come from controlling what happens. It comes from controlling what it means to you. This way of living is hard. It requires constant practice, daily awareness, and an unwavering commitment to reclaim your mind. But once you begin to master it, something incredible happens. You stop being pulled into every emotional storm. You stop letting external chaos dictate your inner world. Life still throws its punches, but they don't land the same way. What once crushed you now challenges you. What once made you anxious now sharpens your clarity. And that is how you begin to stay strong, no matter what happens. Because in this practice, you realize the truth. Nothing holds power over you unless you surrender it. Meaning is not found in the event. It is forged in the space between stimulus and response. And that space is where the Stoic stands. Number 2. Embrace adversity like a tough coach. Picture this. You're in the gym watching someone struggle under the weight of a heavy barbell. Their muscles quiver, Their breath shortens, and maybe, just maybe, the weight crashes down. But now look around. The seasoned athletes, the ones who've been through this countless times, they don't flinch, they don't complain. They welcome the strain because they understand something most people forget. Resistance isn't the enemy, it's the method. Life works the same way. Every obstacle you encounter is not designed to destroy you. It's designed to strengthen you. Like a relentless coach, life throws you challenges not out of cruelty, but to prepare you for something greater. When you lost that job, when you were betrayed, when you failed, did you ask, "Why me?" Or did you ask the better question, "What is this training me for?" Because if you avoid the hard days, you remain unprepared. A body that's never tested stays soft. A mind never challenged stays stagnant. But when you begin to meet adversity like a disciplined student meets a tough coach, with attention, humility, and grit, you start to understand every hard thing is sharpening you. Look at world-class athletes. They run when it rains. They train when they're exhausted. They lean into the discomfort because they've accepted a truth. There is no growth without pressure. And if this makes sense physically, why don't we apply it mentally? Next time life feels unbearable, imagine yourself back in the gym. Each painful rep is shaping you. A rude comment? Resistance training for your patience. A failure? Just another round in the ring. You've been knocked down, sure, but now's your chance to rise stronger. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "A blazing fire makes flame and brightness out of everything that is thrown into it." Be the fire. Not the candle that flickers when the wind changes, but the blaze that consumes every difficulty and grows fiercer. And here's a reminder most people miss. Life doesn't wait for you to feel ready. Challenges will show up, scheduled or not. The question is never, will hardship come? It's, what will I do with it? So when the next trial hits, don't curse it. Train with it. Rise with it. Let it sculpt the strength you didn't know you had. And if you've ever faced something that made you stronger, even if it broke you first, share your story in the comments. You never know who might need to hear it. And if you're committed to building unshakable strength, hit that subscribe button. Life won't ease up, but neither will you. Number 3, focus on controlling yourself. You're rushing to an important meeting. One red light turns into 5. Traffic thickens. Time stretches. You grip the steering wheel tighter, glance at the clock and mutter, "Why is this happening today of all days?" You honk. You fume. But nothing changes. The cars in front don't magically move. The lights don't turn green any faster. And that's the lesson. In that moment, life is offering you a test. Will you fight the uncontrollable, or will you control what's yours, your response? This is where many people falter. They exhaust themselves trying to change what lies beyond their influence: the weather, traffic, people's opinions, or the stock market, while neglecting the only domain they ever truly owned, their own mind. Imagine a chess player. If he spends his turns complaining about his opponent's moves or wishing the board were different, he's already lost. A skilled player doesn't argue with the rules. He focuses on his strategy. Life, in its own quiet way, demands the same. You can't stop someone from cutting you off in traffic, but you can decide whether to explode or to let it go. You can't make someone respect you, but you can walk with such self-respect that their disrespect loses its power. I once knew a man named Ben who had a quick temper, a late delivery, a slow cashier, a colleague missing a deadline. It didn't take much to set him off. But one morning at his favorite cafe, a stranger mistakenly grabbed his coffee. He felt that familiar heat rise. But this time, he paused. Would yelling bring the coffee back? Or would a calm word to the barista do the job without ruining his day? He chose calm, and from that small choice came a powerful shift. Think of your emotions like the winds at sea. If you let them take over, you're just a boat adrift, battered and directionless. But if you learn to steer your ship, to guide your reactions with wisdom, you gain command of your life, even in small things, like standing in a long checkout line while the person ahead counts coins painfully slowly. You can sigh, roll your eyes, check your phone obsessively, or you can take a breath, look around, and use the moment to be still. The line won't move faster, but you will move through it differently. Controlling yourself isn't weakness, it's strength in its highest form. And the next time frustration, anger, or anxiety rise, ask, will this reaction change anything? If not, maybe it's time to choose peace. After all, in a world you can't control, your calm is your power. Number 4. Turn negativity into a joke. Here's a powerful Stoic trick, one that feels almost like a form of magic. If you can laugh at a problem, you strip it of its power. Think back to the last time you spilled coffee on your white shirt minutes before a meeting, locked yourself out of the house, or sent a message to the wrong person. In the moment, it probably felt like a disaster. But now, you smile, maybe even laugh. So ask yourself, if this is going to be funny later, why not make it funny now? That's the Stoic shortcut to resilience. Imagine you're walking down the street, arms full of grocery bags, when your foot catches on an uneven brick and, boom, you fall flat on the pavement. Bags everywhere, people watching, your face heating up with embarrassment. But pause for a second. If you were watching someone else do the same thing, wouldn't it look like something straight out of a comedy sketch? So what if you became the person who falls and laughs first? Marcus Aurelius once said, "If you are distressed by anything external, it is not the thing itself that troubles you, but your judgment about it. And this you have the power to revoke at any moment." In simpler terms, it's not the event, but your interpretation that creates suffering. And the fastest way to break that pattern is through humor. Lose your job. You can collapse under fear, or see it as life-clearing space for something better. Get insulted by a stranger. You can react, or you can imagine their words coming from a cartoon villain with an over-the-top voice. Suddenly, you're not angry. You're entertained. Try this. The next time someone tries to provoke you, visualize them on stage, delivering lines from a poorly written play. Their exaggerated tone, dramatic gestures, it's all part of the act. And you're just the audience member who didn't buy the performance. There's an old saying, illegitimi non carborundum. It's mock Latin for, don't let the bastards grind you down. And that's exactly what Stoicism teaches. When someone lashes out, that's their reflection, not yours. You don't have to stoop to respond. A lion doesn't answer a barking dog. When you know your worth, no insult can touch it. So the next time life throws chaos your way, ask yourself, can I find the joke? Can I smile anyway? If so, you've already won. Because real strength isn't just about grit and endurance, it's about grace under pressure. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is laugh. And if you're still here, it means you're learning to live above the noise. So, hit like, not just for the algorithm, but as a small reminder. You're becoming stronger, wiser, and far less bothered by the things that once had power over you. Number 5. Simplify your life to worry less. Have you ever noticed that the most anxious, overwhelmed people aren't always the ones facing great tragedy, but often the ones juggling too much. The person with 3 cars must decide which to drive, which needs maintenance, which insurance is due. The one with a bursting wardrobe spends each morning paralyzed in front of the mirror, still unsure what to wear. And those chasing 5 ambitions at once. They often find no peace, only the gnawing fear that they're falling behind in all of them. There's an old story worth remembering. A fisherman sits peacefully by the sea, casting his line without hurry. A businessman walking by asks, "Why don't you work harder to earn more money?" The fisherman replies, "And what would I do with more money?" The businessman says, "You could buy a bigger boat, hire a crew, build a company, and someday retire rich, so you could sit by the sea and relax." The fisherman smiles, "But I'm already doing that." We often believe more is the path to happiness, more possessions, more success, more options. But in truth, it's often less that sets us free. Look around your life. How many clothes haven't been worn in months? How many apps on your phone gather digital dust? How many people do you speak with often but truly feel understood by? The more we accumulate, the more we mentally carry, and the weight of too much is one of the quietest forms of suffering. There's a concept called the paradox of choice. The more options we have, the more overwhelmed and dissatisfied we feel. That endless restaurant menu, it doesn't make you feel empowered, it makes you stressed. But when there's just one option, there's peace. Simplicity is clarity. Seneca once said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, who is poor." True wealth isn't in abundance, it's in contentment. A person who enjoys a simple meal will never go hungry. One who sleeps soundly on a hard bed has mastered comfort. So try it. Spend a day living only with what's essential. Wear what's simple, eat what nourishes, focus only on what truly matters. You'll realize you never needed much to feel free. And for every possession, every task, every person in your life, ask, "Do I truly need this?" If not, let it go. Because here's the deeper truth. One day, whether we want to or not, we will lose everything, our status, our wealth, even our life. And if we can accept that, if we can make peace with the temporary, then nothing can shake us again. Simplicity is not just peace, it's power. The less you need, the less you fear, and the less you fear, the stronger you become. Number 6. Face mortality to conquer the fear of death. There is a silent fear that follows us. It hides behind our choices, our overthinking, our sleepless nights. The fear of endings, of loss, of death. And yet, what is more certain than death? What is more universal, more guaranteed, yet more avoided in thought? Stoicism confronts this paradox head-on. To live with true strength, the Stoics taught, we must not fear death, we must befriend it. Not as a source of dread, but as a compass pointing us toward what matters most. Every morning before reaching for your phone or diving into your to-do list, pause and ask, if today were my last day, how would I live? This one question can shift your entire perception of the day ahead. Because when you acknowledge how fragile life truly is, the unimportant begins to fall away. What remains is what is real. The Stoics called this memento mori, remember that you will die. But it was never meant as a grim thought. It was meant to set you free, to remind you that time is not promised and that every hour is a gift, not to be wasted on resentment, fear, or meaningless noise. One of the most powerful exercises in Stoicism is practicing death. Take a few moments each day. Sit quietly. Close your eyes. Imagine the world continuing without you. No plans, no pressures, no roles to play. And feel that stillness. In that imagined absence, clarity emerges. The things that once consumed your mind, frustrations, fears, delays, they lose their grip. This is not just philosophy, it's a tool for courage. When faced with a hard decision, ask, if I had only one day left, would I still do this? That question cuts through hesitation like a blade. It reveals what's essential. You speak more honestly. You love more boldly. You stop postponing the life you were meant to live. And when someone angers you, you pause. If this were my last conversation with them, would I still respond with pride or bitterness? When you remember your time is limited, ego has less room to breathe. The Bible says, "Teach us to number our days, that we may gain a heart of wisdom." The Stoics would agree, because only when you face death, not with fear, but with understanding, do you begin to truly live. You stop chasing approval. You stop trying to fit in. You stop living on autopilot. And the question that remains is the most important of all. If you knew how short life truly is, would you still live to please everyone else? Number 7. Stop living to please everyone. Have you ever said yes when everything in you wanted to say no? Agreed to plans that drained you? Took on tasks you couldn't handle? Smiled when all you wanted was silence? If so, you're not alone. And maybe it's time to stop. Picture yourself as a phone with limited battery life. Every time you say yes just to make someone else happy, you're running background apps you don't need. One for approval, one for fear of judgment, one for guilt. And slowly, your energy slips away. The irony. Even when you bend over backward, someone will still disapprove. Today's compromise becomes tomorrow's expectation, and in trying to please everyone, you end up pleasing no one, not even yourself. A Stoic knows this truth well. Freedom doesn't come from applause, it comes from alignment, from knowing who you are and daring to live by that compass. As Epictetus put it, if you wish to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. That's the price of living honestly. Some won't get it, some will criticize, but none of that should steer your ship. Imagine buying a shirt you love. The color suits you, the fit is perfect. Yet someone says it's boring, another says it's too bold. Do you return it? Or do you wear it anyway, because it feels like you? That's your life. If you keep swapping pieces of it to match everyone else's taste, you'll never build something that's truly yours. People-pleasing is often just fear in disguise, the fear of being disliked, misunderstood, or excluded. But saying no doesn't make you selfish, it makes you sovereign. Suppose you've planned a quiet weekend, something your soul desperately needs. Then a friend invites you to a party. You don't want to go, but you say yes anyway, afraid to offend. So you show up, nod, smile, pretend, and deep down you resent it. That's not kindness, that's quiet self-abandonment. The Bible says, no one can serve two masters. The Stoics would agree. You cannot walk your own path while constantly detouring for approval. So how do you reclaim yourself? Start small. The next time someone asks something of you, pause. Don't rush to please. Ask, do I truly want this? If not, say no, with grace but firmness. Thanks for thinking of me, but I'll have to pass. You don't owe anyone an explanation for honoring your own boundaries. It won't be easy at first. Guilt may whisper, but remember, you weren't born to be a reflection of others. You were born to live your truth. And if today marks the moment you take that step, type "Own my path" in the comments. Let this be the day you stop living for others and start living fully for yourself. Number 8. See life as a game and learn how to play it well. Imagine you're playing a game. You pick your character, step into a world of unknowns, and begin facing one challenge after another. Some levels are easy, others make you want to quit. But no gamer throws the controller because the level is hard. They pause, recalibrate, and try again. Life is no different, but the mistake most people make is expecting life to be fair, smooth, predictable. When they lose a job, fail in business, or face betrayal, they take it personally, as if life is broken. But life, like a game, is just running its course. The question is, are you learning how to play? A friend of mine, let's call him Jack, failed 3 times trying to launch his business. He could have walked away, but instead he asked himself, is this just a tough level? What can I do differently? On his 4th try, he succeeded, not because life got easier, but because he got better. That's the Stoic mindset. As Marcus Aurelius put it, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. The obstacle isn't blocking the path, it is the path. So next time adversity shows up, don't ask why me, ask what is this teaching me? And instead of chasing comfort, level up. Learn new skills, strengthen your patience, upgrade your perspective. Because when you see life as a game, you stop fearing failure and start enjoying the challenge. We've just uncovered 8 timeless principles to help you stay grounded, even when life feels overwhelming. These aren't just ideas to admire, but practices to live by. Because strength isn't found in perfect conditions. It's revealed when everything around you shakes. And yet, you remain steady. As you move through your day, you'll face moments of uncertainty, frustration, and doubt. But now, you have tools to meet them with clarity, composure, and quiet strength. If any part of this spoke to you, take a moment to like this video. It helps more than you know. Share your reflections below with the phrase, "Stand strong." I'd love to hear what this stirred in you. And if you know someone who could use a little more peace or perspective, pass this message along. Make sure you're subscribed, because the journey doesn't end here. In the next video, we'll go even deeper. Until then, stay steady, stay centered. And remember, your strength was never out there. It's been within you all along.